inadequate boreholes. Actually, we don't have no spring water, but this is the only borehole we have. All from even our health center, there's no very clean water. All people are using this one, and it's very fun for some other people. They move like even 2 kilometers from there to come and fetch. So we have been given some water up there by Red Cross, but actually it's not working on well now. Water problem here is so much. Like when it's a crisis like this, you may see women fighting, doing what, and then there's been an inadequate number. We suffer a lot. And then some people fetch, like in rain season like this, some people fetch in valleys, and then it's poor and they don't treat it. Then they just take it like that. They cannot boil it. So it's a problem here in our side. So if the government is there, maybe it will help us in having more so borehole, many boreholes. Actually, in this parish, we have like 4 villages. The other one is down there, deep there in PHC. There people suffer a lot. So that is the biggest village even we have in this parish. But there is no borehole there.
Adiga James, L1 of Aye village says people continue to raise issues over this matter, but negotiation is ongoing with the local government authorities to provide more clean water services.
The people were always complaining because the line which we are here staying is not enough. And then we are talking to the government. We sent a problem to the government to assist us, but it did not happen.
There is only one borehole in Aye Parish in Aye village as the only source of clean water local community members continues to rely on, but they continue to advocate for more clean water from the government since clean water is life. Oraku Benson Pastore, West Nile Television Nilecast.
And more in our stories this evening, moving on to Moyo District during the launch of the countrywide Big Catch-Up immunization campaign. In Moyo District, the general public has been urged not to have a negative mindset in regards to vaccination.
The Big Catch-Up immunization campaign, which aims at vaccinating children against the 14 killer diseases and the vaccination against cervical cancer, attracted a number of district leaders and the community members who graced the event. Mr. Gore Goffin, the resident district commissioner Moyo, during the launch, lauded the government for rolling out the vaccination campaign across the country and urged the public not to have negative mindset on vaccinations, saying government cannot engage in acts which can depopulate its people because government works with the people, not trees.
All the community members not to have negative attitude towards vaccination. When COVID medicines came, everybody had that negative feeling that people will not produce. Now these children whom we are vaccinating today, are their mothers not all vaccinated with the COVID vaccines? They are producing. So it is just a myth, it is just a fear for nothing. Government of Uganda cannot allow anything to take place in Uganda if it has not tested and proved it true. All the vaccines you are receiving, even for the young children, young girls of 10 years above, it is to protect them against cancer.
Honorable Anyanzo Terry, the Secretary for Education, Moyo District Local Government, who represented the Chairman Local Council 5 Moyo, said, according to statistics, out of 1,000 newborn babies, only 43 die across the country, which puts the coverage to over 90%, and appeals to the parents to take their children for vaccination so as to achieve better results.
Out of 1,000 children born alive, only 43 die in the whole of Uganda. Meaning that the coverage is over 90%. And that is a very good achievement on the part of this government. Government discovered outbreak of measles in 30 districts of Uganda. They discovered that most of the children in these districts were immunized and others are under-immunized.
Mrs. Ongerto Jessica, the Chief Administrative Officer Moyo, thanked government for taking up the initiative to immunize the children against the 14 killer diseases, adding that all the necessary services are being brought closer to the people, but those who do not want to be served are the ones suffering, and implore the public to take advantage of the available services so as to benefit and transform their lives.
By the way, where we are, it is people who don't want to be served are the ones who are suffering. Because if you want services, they have brought them nearer to you. We have the schools, we have the health facilities. At least government is trying. So for me, as a head of service, I will say let us take advantage of the services. Let's use them. Otherwise, we are not going to have any excuse for not benefiting from the services we have.
Adrawa Michael, the Assistant District Health Officer in charge of maternal and child health, gives the details of the people targeted by the campaign, adding that for now close to 2 decades, Moyo District has never registered cases of polio, measles and other killer diseases among the children, and urged the parents to embrace the campaign so as to give their children good life.
We are mainly targeting children who are not or who are unvaccinated. But the second category is children and other groups who have started the vaccine but they have not completed what we call under vaccinated. So our village health teams, our mobilizers, our health workers and all the stakeholders are doing what is possible to mobilize this category of people for vaccination. Over the years, we have seen the benefits of vaccination. For example, in Moyo district, for the last 20 years and also, we have not seen any child with the paralysis as a result of polio.
Tajita Grace, a mother, outlined the importance of the immunization and requests the parents to always take their children for immunization so as to raise healthy children.
The children are not so much suffering from diseases, preventable diseases like malaria, or maybe polio, measles. Does not disturb my kids. The other important of this immunization, I think also it prevents other kind of infections. We have so much infection these days, if we may say there's bacterial infections. So when you take so much of the immunizations, it prevents some of the infections.
In January this year, the Ministry of Health registered cases of measles outbreak in over 30 districts across the country, something which led to the recent launch of the Big Catch-Up immunization campaign against the 14 killer diseases among children, with the aim of eliminating the disease out of the country for good. Dominic Anthony Okumu, West Nile TV, Nile Cat.
And more in our stories following the recent passing of the Uganda National Roads Authority Bill 2024 and the Uganda Roads Fund Bill 2024 by Parliament, that is transferring the functions of these agencies to the Ministry of Works and Transport. The ministry has assured Ugandans of the continued service delivery on the country's roads as it prepares to resume responsibilities of the Uganda National Roads Authority and the Uganda Roads Fund. Take a look.
The Ministry of Works and Transport has assured Ugandans of continued service delivery on the country's road as it prepares to assume the responsibilities of the Uganda National Road Authority, UNRA, and the Uganda Road Fund, URF. This follows the recent passing of the Uganda National Roads Authority Repeal Bill 2024 and the Uganda Road Fund Amendment Bill 2024 by Parliament, transferring the functions of these agencies to the ministry. General Edward Katumba Wamala, Minister for Works and Transport, emphasized the ministry's commitment to maintaining uninterrupted road services during the transition, recognizing recognizing the potential concerns over the restructuring, Katumba reassured the public that a well-developed transition plan is in place. Under the new framework, existing contracts and commitments held by UNRWA and URF will be reassigned to the Ministry of Works and Transport, ensuring that ongoing projects are unaffected. Service providers are advised to remain in contact with their current UNRWA and URF representatives for any clarifications to avoid delays or interruptions. For further updates, Ministry of Works and Transport has urged stakeholders and service providers to reach out to the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Works, or contact UNRWA and URF directly through their designated communication channels. This transition is part of a broader government rationalization initiative aimed at consolidating agency functions to enhance efficiency and service delivery within Uganda's road infrastructure sector. Mercy Draru, West Nile TV, Nilecast.
The usual suspect, that's Oraku Benson Pastore, already in the studios of West Nile Television to give you what is happening in the world of sports. I can confirm to you so many things right now they are happening as far as sports concerned, but within the region of West Nile, it's actually the ongoing Stanbic Uganda Cup preliminary round, and also continentally, things also happen as far as the African Cup of Nations is concerned, and also in Europe. People think that UEFA Champions League is only for men, but I can also tell you we also have a ladies UEFA Champions League. But let's start it within the home soil, that's West Nile region, particularly in Greater Alu region and in Nebi municipality. There was a very big encounter, as I had said earlier on, in one of the games played in the preliminary round of the Stanbic Uganda Cup. It was actually between Arua City Council Football Club and Nebi Hot Springs. In the process, the full time ended in a draw, but the bragging rights have gone into the hands of the team called Nebi Hot Springs after knocking out Arua City Council Football Club in the penal shootout. Let's first take a look at the highlights of the story.
Hot Springs Football Club, located in the heart of Nebi Town, has registered success in the Uganda Cup during the game played on 12th November 2024 between Nebi Hot Spring FC and Arua City at Albert Stadium. Nebi Hot Springs realized their victory after defeating Arua City FC 5-4 in a penalty shootout. Emmanuel Rotomio, the acting PRO Hot Springs FC, expressed gratitude upon the progress made during their first victory in the Uganda Cup 2024. According to Rotomio, although Hot Springs FC was relegated from Regional League 2 years ago, this has proved that his club is thriving towards success.
We are so grateful for the progress that we have seen in this game. it has just been an amazing game. It has helped us. We learned where our weakness has been, and we shall polish that. Above all, it has given us hope that what we are planning for ahead of us, we can achieve it easily. But whatever the case, we take the positive lessons that we have learned from our opponent, the regional team. We want to connect and link up. By the time we join up, it's a positive competition that we would have in the future. I thank the West Nile Organizing Committee for this, though there have been a little bit challenge of delay in the officiating officials who didn't appear in time, though afterward, later on, everything went on properly. And above all, we thank the management of Hot Spring for the effort they are pushing day by day. I know day by day we shall achieve. Thank you very much.
However, Atiko John, head coach Arua City FC, expressed disappointment with the match officials for the delays caused to start the game late, has this affected his players psychologically.
We came for this game all the way from Arua. We reached here. The unfortunate part of it, we had really warmed up the players very well until we reached 4:30. That's when we had to pick up. We have to communicate and we have to improvise for the referees just within the premise here. So it was really a very bad experience for me. This one goes to the West Nile Region Football Association. Let anything like this should not happen again. You know, after the boys really warming up, they had to go down and sit for almost an hour waiting for the referees. And yet, according to what I know, Uganda Cup is supposed to be starting at the kick-off time is 3. But today we went close to 5. So remaining only 10 minutes to kick off. So this disorganized my players and also playing away from home. That disadvantage is also there. There was also 12-man person in the on the side. Those are the fans. So we've lost it in the penalty spot kicker. That's how it is. Anything can happen in it. There's no master in the sport kicker. Thank you.
Hot Springs FC's triumphant in the Uganda Cup is a testament to their dedication, teamwork and passion for the beautiful game. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, Nilecast.
Coming back from that story between Arua City Council Football Club and the Hot Springs Football Club, that one wasn't the only game that took place today in Stanbic Uganda Cup preliminary round. These games actually started yesterday with the Yumbe Soccer Academy yesterday losing by 2-1 into the hands of Total Football Club in Yumbe Derby. Then there was also another encounter between Alpha Rising Stars as they were a 0-0 winners over Nyaravur All Stars. And taking a look at the games that transpired this evening, Odamataku Central Ezio Galaxy by 3-2, with the Villa Spa playing out a 1-1 draw with the team of Paida United, but Paida United transpired ahead after a 4-2 spot kick win over the team of Villa Spa. Meanwhile, Okokoro Central, or as Okokoro Football Club, or as Okokoro United, they were away to Teregu District and they matched winners over the team of Okotani Central by beating them by 3-1, and the Court picked their first win of the season after not having a very good run of form in the Western Nile Regional League in Nile Zone. Hammered Naside Ramba by 4-0, and Pakwati Youngsters were a 0-0 winners over Johanna. Meanwhile, Kluva Rainbow also had an impressive win over Gold Mission, edging them by a 0-0. At the game between Parombo Mission and Zeus Central ended in a barren draw. In the process, Parombo Mission were 4-3 winners over Zeus Central in a spot kick, and the last game was between Riverview, that comes from Obongi, up against Nyangila Super Eagles. Interestingly, surprisingly, Nyangila lost that encounter by 3-1 into the hands of Riverview. So that one takes us to what is happening in the world of Darcy Total AFCON qualifiers. There was a very big game played in the early kickoff It was between Namibia and Cameroon. That game ended without any single goal being put into the back of the net. That means it ended in a barren draw as 0-0. As I speak right now, there is a game going on between Togo and Liberia, still barren. And then at 10 p.m. East African time, that's when Sierra Leone is traveling away to Chad. And let's take a look at the games that are set to be played tomorrow in African Cup of Nations qualifiers. Madagascar is having a game with Tunisia. Meanwhile, for Central African Republic, they are taking a trip away to Lesotho. Those are the games in Group A. And then in Group D, Rwanda is saying hi to Libya, with Nigeria traveling away to Benin. Meanwhile, in Group E, there is one encounter tomorrow as Equatorial Guinea is set to lock horns with Algeria, the Desert Foxes. And then that's in Group E. Then in Group F, Niger is welcoming Sudan at home. And then in Group K tomorrow still, South Sudan is having a date with Darcy Congo. And then lastly, in Group L, Burundi is having a game with Darcy Malawi. And lastly, Senegal traveling away to Burkina Faso. Still a reminder again, I talked about it yesterday. The game for Uganda Cranes is on Friday. They'll be taking on South Africa. Right now, Uganda is leading the table in their group, in Group K, with 10 points. South Africa is having 8 points. Third team on the log is Congo Brazzaville with 4 points, and South Sudan, our neighbors here, they are yet looking for their first point in that group. That means, concerning the statistics for Uganda Cranes to qualify, they just need a draw against Bafana. Still tomorrow, I'll be able to give the statistics ahead of that encounter for the viewers who have missed the session of today. Let's leave that one there, and I also have to highlight something little about the ongoing UEFA Champions League for ladies. That's why when I was giving the highlights of the discussion, I said UEFA Champions League is not only for men, and also we have got Ladies Champions League, and in the recent years, it has been dominated by the team of Barcelona ladies. So let's take a look at the fixtures set to be played tonight. Galatasaray is having a game with Wolfsburg. Meanwhile, Olympic Lyonnais, they are traveling away to AS Roma. The ladies team of Olympic Lyon is called Olympic Lyonnais. Meanwhile, the men's team is called Olympic Lyon. But this time, Olympic Lyonnais, they are traveling away to AS Roma. Interestingly, the ladies team of Olympic Lyon, or the Olympic Lyonnais, they are playing UEFA Champions League. Meanwhile, for the men's, they are playing UEFA Europa League. That's interesting how football is. Then come tomorrow, and still today, Real Madrid is having a date with FC20, and lastly, Celtic is having a game with the team of Chelsea ladies. Let's now finalize everything with what is happening in the world of transfer, because we are only left with 1 month plus some few weeks for the January transfer window to open. Chelsea striker, let's start it here. Chelsea striker, that's Christopher Nkunku, who comes from France, whom they signed from the team of RB Leipzig, one of the iconic teams we have in German Bundesliga, is actually open to move to Old Trafford. So he's looking for first team opportunity, and we're waiting to see if Manchester United will be in position to lure his services come over January transfer window. Right now he's a bench material. He always comes as a substitute, and he plays maybe the mere games for the team of Chelsea. Away from that, Juventus, or the old ladies, or as Bianconeris, they are very much interested in the signature of Manchester United striker, that's Jonathan Zerke, who comes from Netherlands. Zerke was signed by Manchester United from Bologna last season, or as over the summer on permanent basis, but Juventus, they are very much interested in his signature on loan. Also, away from that, Manchester City's Pep Guardiola is in market looking for a defender, and the defender right now they are eyeing is actually the right back for the team of Bayer Leverkusen called Emmanuel Frimpong. Emmanuel Frimpong is actually a player who is from Netherlands. So Manchester City, it's actually is not Emmanuel Frimpong, it's called Jeremy Frimpong. So the team of Manchester City, they are very much interested in his signature. Also away from that, still keeping it within London, the team of Spurs, Tottenham Spurs, They are also interested in the signature of Manchester City attacker Jack Grealish. This is the latest development I can give you about the two parties, Jack Grealish and the team that's interested in his signature as far as transfer is concerned. Second last for you, I also need to give this one. Teams like Chelsea, Crystal Palace, Newcastle, they are also monitoring the situation of Soccer Lisboa defender. The teenager rather is 22 years of age and is called Thomas Araujo. So these three clubs from England, they are battling for his signature. And lastly, Arsenal, Liverpool, they are monitoring the situation of Eintracht Frankfurt midfielder, that's Hugo Larsson. So all these are the latest developments in the transfer rumors. That one brings us to the end of today's edition of NILE Sports News. It has been me, Benson Pastore, doing it for you. Let's link up again tomorrow. Still, we will be here in the studios of West Nile Television to discuss what continues to happen in the world of sports.
Thank you, Rako Benson Pastore, for that sports news and that sports highlight. Viewers, we have come to the end of the Nilecast only on West Nile Television. Thank you always for taking the time to be with us from the beginning of the Nilecast to the end of the Nilecast only on West Nile Television. Please stay tuned to the rest of the subsequent programs that will follow. My name is Okumaringa Christine. Have a good evening.